If you find that your voice is not getting heard, or if you feel like you're very similar to many other people who sell the same thing as you do, then there is a need for you to look into personal branding. Before I go further, I want to give you a better picture of what branding is and what branding isn't. So I would like to quote what Martin Neumeier said in his podcast: branding is not a logo. Logo is a very useful tool for business, but it's not the brand. It's a symbol for the brand. A brand is also not a product. So when people talk about this brand or that brand, they're really talking about buying one product or another product. The brand is a promise the company makes to customers. Well, there's some truth in that, but it does end up acting as a promise, but not what it is either. So what branding is? A brand is a result, it's a customer's gut feeling about a product, a service, or a company. It ends up in their heads, in their hearts. They take whatever raw materials you throw at them and they make something out of it. And so in a sense, when you create a brand, you're not creating one brand. You are creating millions of brands, and each one has a different brand of you. So a brand is like a reputation. It's your business reputation, and everyone's gonna be a little bit different about what that reputation is. And that's okay. So as long as it's beneficial to you or the company. Now, if you are to relate branding to personal branding, it really isn't all that different. You have to build your reputation, and while you're doing that, you're going to influence your audience's gut feeling about you, your product or service, or your company. Now, the real question is, how are you going to do that in a way that is different from everyone else in your industry? Now, first, you got to define your brand attributes. And in simpler terms, you got to define what makes you, you. I'm not sure if you have been in a situation where you either have done something or said something and then your friends responded with, "Oh my God, that's so you." You may not have realized then, that's because in their mind and in their hearts, they already have a gut feeling, a certain gut feeling about you. Alright, you might want to get your pen and paper and note this down. So in order to define your personal brand attributes with words, you need to know how your friends and family describe you, how your customers describe you, how do you sound, how are you different from others. So the first question, how your friends and family describe you. You have to know at a more personal level, what do they think of you as a person. And secondly, how your customers describe you. And for people who have experienced your products or services, ask them, what do they think of you as a professional or an expert? And third, how do you sound? Let others describe how you sound to them. There must be something unique or different about the way you speak or the way you sound that makes you, you. And lastly, how are you different from others? Now you could say, in other words, what makes you weird? It's just that something that makes me think hard, and once you got that word, that is going to be what differentiates you from the other people. Now, after going through all the answers, you will find that there are some answers or few attributes that are overlapping. Those overlapping ones are your personal brand attributes. Now, you might ask, what's it for? What can I do after knowing these attributes? Let me tell you, everything that you do have to align with who you really are, which you have successfully defined them in words. So from the point people discovered you online to in person to experiencing your offerings, the entire journey should be consistent. And you would know when you have succeeded, when your audience wants to join you and be part of your community.